Hey guys, this is the market update. I asked a question on my Twitter today and the answer actually shocked me. I asked very simply, do you own more Bitcoin or more alts as a percentage of your portfolio? And I was expecting way more answers, obviously, to say that they owned more Bitcoin. Now, obviously, as a percentage, there are definitely more alts. Bitcoin itself takes up around 40% of the market. And so if you would say, well, you know what, I actually have a diversified portfolio, maybe you should own more alts. But let's kind of look at the market itself and actually say, well, look, Bitcoin is 40% of the market, but then you've got Ether, another 20%. You have around 1,200 coins, of which 90% are probably complete and utter garbage, right? So it does actually kind of shock me to have this amount of people that definitely have more alts than Bitcoin. This could be Ethereum. This could be Ethereum. This could be USDC, right? Which aren't Bitcoin. So maybe we'll ask another question and maybe see what people own. For me, why do I own a lot of Bitcoin? It's essentially because even though it doesn't have as much potential move that people think, it has longevity. And when we are going through a market cycle like this is when you're happy to actually have more Bitcoin in comparison to other alts, which we've seen fall off. One of the reasons why I asked this is because sentiment was really bad. I felt like sentiment was horrible kind of on my timeline. I was thinking, hold on, you realize that Bitcoin is actually up over the last 30 days around 8%, from those lows, right? And yeah, I'm not painting this out as, a picture of kind of, wow, what a great market. But why is sentiment so bad considering we're actually up over the last 30 days? Obviously, this answers it, right? Alts are getting absolutely hammered right now. So that's one thing. What I want to talk about is kind of how I put my portfolio together. Obviously, if you're part of the Crypto Investor course, you see my portfolio anyway, so you know kind of what I have and the way that I go about things. Everyone has a different strategy with this sort of thing. So I want to go through some of that in this video. So firstly, just looking at Bitcoin, right? Not awful considering everything going on, right? We've obviously come down, tested this support level. Looks like we broke through it a little bit, but we're getting kind of a little bit of a rally or relief rally with the stock market as well. So something to be aware of is that the stock market right now is thinking that the Federal Reserve is going to raise interest rates by 0.5% to combat inflation. Now, what's going on and kind of a lot of bad news may help inflation a little bit anyway, right? Inflation is a sentiment thing as well as a physical kind of demand side thing. Obviously, a lot of supply chain issues and everything, but supply chain issues for me aren't the big thing. It's really a demand side thing. When you print loads of money and give loads of people free money and the demand goes up, right? But obviously sentiment is changing right now. And so that may kind of dampen demand a little bit and help the Fed out massively when it comes to inflation. Still going to get some big prints now, but the market is forward looking. The market was thinking the Fed had to raise rates by 0.5%. With everything that's going on, a lot of bad news right now, the market maybe is saying, hey, they're probably not going to raise by 0.5% in March, but by 25 basis points in March. Looser monetary policy, a little bit looser anyway, does help a little bit with asset prices. And so, after kind of a down move, you're seeing a little bit of a rally. I mean, it's not a rally, right? But, not as like cataclysmic as people were thinking. So what we're seeing here, and if I was a day trader, if you've kind of held a gun to my head and said day trade right now, I wouldn't be looking to open any longs right here. So it's kind of a weird kind of place. I wouldn't want to trade this. I'd want to see where we're going from here, right? So if we actually hold this support line and we actually get a couple of days and prints right here, then I'd be looking to actually go long right here with a little stop loss under where this wick is, and then, moving into this other resistance level. Now, this is caveated with a massive, basically macro events are happening right now that no one can predict. And so I wouldn't really, I kind of stay out of the market a little bit when things are happening like that, because basically the market is down to what some politician says somewhere. So you can't, it's just absolutely unpredictable what would happen there. But we're at this level right now where we're trying to find some support, which is pretty decent. You can see good support here. If we break this, it's an obvious test of this support at kind of 34,500. What I want to say really is that, if you are someone that potentially has a ton of alts and everything like that. Obviously, that's up to you, depending on what you want with your alts. And, you may have a lot of your portfolio in other things as well, right? You may have stocks, you may have, business investments, and you may just have a lot of cash or gold. Obviously, this is kind of a question that doesn't go into that. Just the way I do things is putting a portfolio together that really is just kind of a decent spread of risk. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't get into. So definitely look at the Crypto Investor course in the description. I go through this all in the course, how to think about risk, managing risk. Investing is about risk and not reward, in my opinion. It's about managing risk only, and then letting the market just do its thing. Obviously, a lot of this is sentiment driven right now, but there's a few things that I look for. The first is what technology is going to be around over the long term. Okay, so I don't think about making money in the markets, trying to trade something to make money because the price is going up, but rather which one of these or group of these is going to be around in 5, 7, 10 years. Because if it is and has any sort of success whatsoever, short-term prices aren't going to make much difference over that time frame if it's successful, right? So, I don't try and make money, but just have broad exposure to things, to assets that may go up over time. And things like this happen over time. The direction of travel is quite clear, right? Thai Stock Exchange plans to connect crypto with its digital asset platform. This means essentially, and this is happening all over the world in different countries, crypto is becoming a normal asset class. And that means over time, over the years, more capital will flow in and people invest in these technologies just like any other technology. That doesn't mean they just go up all the time, but the technologies that last the test, last time, will have more capital and increase in value over time despite the volatility. That's how I play the crypto markets, managing risk. You guys know, if you're part of the investor course, what I hold, why I hold it, and just managing risk overall, staying in the game during these times, which are difficult. But in the big scheme of things, Bitcoin is still worth $700 billion and multiple $1 billion for all of the top 10 coins. If we just take a step back and look at the market, it's still doing pretty well, even though, alts are down, and that is obviously causing a lot of bad sentiment right now. If you are trading though, do check out Bybit. You can get up to $4,000 as a deposit bonus here. Just make a deposit and then they'll give you up to $4,000 in your futures trading account. You can go ahead and trade that. If you want to trade, day trading obviously right now, very difficult, but they do give you that deposit bonus, and obviously you can use that when you're trading as well. Anyway, check those links in the description. I'm James with MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.